Alright, and welcome back to another video. Yes, that is a World Tour Pro. That is actually 2 World Tour Pros I'm counting on my hand. 1, 2, oh wait, is there 3? Yes, that is 3 World Tour Pros. This ride is a chop ride up on the Sunshine Coast called The Grind. Now, I've done multiple videos on this, and you're probably like, bruh, get over it. You've done 3 videos, 4 videos on this. Yes, I have, but when 3 World Tour Pro cyclists show up to a chop ride, well, it's going to be a bloody banger. So my mum basically messaged me and she was like, mate, get out of bed. It was about 6:10 in the morning and I was like, all right, I'm not going to get out of bed. I want to go back to sleep. It was wet outside. But she said the roads are looking like they're going to dry up. Well, my mum was wrong and the roads definitely didn't dry up because by the time I arrived at this group ride, it was pissing with rain. As you can tell, I'm eating the water out of this guy's ass in front of me pretty much. That's how fucked it was. But anyway, we decided to stick the ride out and we just kept pushing through. The rain did not die off. It probably got heavier if anything. So some of this footage may not be the best, but you're going to have to live with it. You either watch the video or you can jog on and not watch it. I don't really care. But if you want to watch 3 World Tour Pros, myself, who's a bit of a hubbard, chop off with them, or try to chop off and probably, maybe end up getting dropped, well, stick around because it's going to be a perler. All right, good morning and welcome back. This morning I'm up on the Sunshine Coast. So I was up here for Chrissy. We're on our way to do the grind. So haven't actually done the grind since April and probably my favorite ride up on the coast. Literally got out of bed about 2 minutes ago too. My parents have moved like 20 k's down south, so jumping on with the boys as they roll past. It's about 6:20 right now. Hopefully we make it in time. Yeah, I was in bed, it was a bit wet, and I was like, might not go. Changed my mind. So we're on the way, Funny enough, I was gonna stay in bed, and I was in bed, it was like 6:10. My mum texted me and she's like, don't be a softie, go for a ride. So thanks, mum. The reason I got out of bed. Potentially could be a few pros showing up today as well. So if it is, yeah, we're in for a big one. Also, first time chopping with the new bars. And I'm pretty sure the posi, super dialed, feels so much better. So one of these lights on Nickel Road, boys should come from down there. I'll go out that way. I reckon I got here maybe a minute ago and the boys have just started to show up, so fucking perfect timing if you ask me. It's a big crew too.
I don't think it's worth filming this one, though.
Maybe not. Alright, so much to my surprise, we did have a few pro cyclists show up to this ride. It's pretty much every year up on the Sunshine Coast, a few pros come back. I didn't realize that Harry Sweeney, who is one of the EF pro cyclists, actually is from around that area. But my coach Ryan was like, yeah, he's pretty regular up here. So we had 3 pros show up on this ride, and we have Harry Sweeney from EF Pro, we have Alistair MacKellar from EF Pro, and we also have another guy called Jack Haig. Now, Jack Haig is riding for Bahrain Victorious at the time, but he's actually on the new Pinarello for Ineos Grenadiers. So I believe he's moving across the Ineos Grenadiers. Now, these boys showed up, and I was like, all right, I'd heard rumors that Harry was up on the coast, and Harry's a very strong cyclist, so I knew that I had my work cut out for me in this ride. And personally, I wasn't really looking forward to it at the start because it was already pissing with rain and this was just going to upset everything and ruin everything. So hit those white lines and you go sliding into fucking Mars. So I was avoiding the white lines and avoiding basically coming off my bike. But as you can see, sitting in the wheels here, sitting behind someone else, you're just eating so much water and so much dirt the whole way. So you couldn't have your glasses on because you couldn't see anything with them as they were absolutely fogged up. The boys were all rolling through here. The pace was definitely significantly slower than usual, but the watts were quite high, which didn't really make much sense. Like, I've done this ride a handful of times, probably 5 or 6, 7 times even, and usually sitting in the wheels, you're not hitting 500 and something watts just coming along this little stretch out on Bells Creek Road. So usually, yeah, maybe up a little pincher, but like on this, it's pretty flat. There's pretty much nothing holding us back here. Usually it's really fast turns. There was a bit of a headwind though, and we were definitely eating headwind with rain, so it was, yeah, pretty much less than ideal conditions and one of the worst dynamic duos you could possibly have other than Harley Quinn and the Joker. But But hey, that didn't stop me. I was still pretty eager to roll some turns, and I saw no one was rolling over to my right there, so I thought, I'm going to jump out, I'm going to roll a turn, I'm going to get to the front of the group. And honestly, looking back on this, reflecting on this ride, dumb idea. Dumb idea. I should have just sat on the wheels and basically, as Jesse Coyle said recently, keep my normalized power low. So I didn't do that at the start of this ride, and my normalized power was up around 360, 370. I was keeping it very high, not low. I was doing the opposite of what I should be doing. Pretty much, if I want to survive this ride with these boys, I should sit in a little bit more. But also, where's the fun in sitting in? I want to roll turns. The whole point of you guys watching this video is to see other people in the ride. If I just sit on someone's wheel the whole time, is that going to be enjoyable content? Probably not. It's going to be quite boring, and you'll be like, mate, this guy just sits in and is a passenger princess the entire ride, which is not what I want to do. I would rather roll some turns, show I've done a little bit of work in the bungee, and maybe get dropped, but, you know, at least I've put in some hurt and tried my best. So that's what you're going to see me do today. You're going to see me roll some turns, give it a red hot crack, and potentially, probably, most likely, get dropped, because legs up here on the coast were feeling absolutely like potatoes. They were not good. They were just like carrot sticks. I don't know what was going on with my legs while I was up on the Sunshine Coast, but I had carrot sticks for legs the whole time I was up there. As you can probably see, we did a little U-turn, and the roads are super moist at this point. Like, they are dripping wet. You can see the rain coming down in front of me, and coming through these roundabouts, I was a little bit skeptical. I was like, oh, it is a bit sketch. Definitely take your foot off the pedal for these ones. But the boys weren't easing up. It was still full chop, basically, in this pouring down rain while you were eating the dirt out of the guy's ass in front of you, which sounds awful. Yeah, it was not great. Trust me, definitely not ideal. But, you know, I guess it was World Tour Pro dirt ass, you know, if that means anything. Anyway, so we are back, and we're chopping off with the boys. The boys are rolling through here. At this point, I was like, I reckon I've already burnt a few too many bickies, and I'm not feeling good. So I thought I'm going to have to sit in a little bit here, and I'm going to have to recoup and let my legs recover. So at this point, I was just taking it easy, sitting in, and in a moment, one of the boys actually is in front of me, and I'm like, all right, just sit over. I didn't want to pull that turn, so I let the boys take the turn. I was taking Jesse's advice on board, and I was sitting in and being a little bit of a passenger princess, which definitely didn't reward me in the long run. It probably made me last a few extra minutes, but yeah. So just there when he rolled over, I was like, yep, go over, you take that wheel. I didn't want to roll through because I was trying to save as much as I could. This is kind of where everything went wrong in this ride. I actually don't know what I did wrong. I'm obviously just wasn't prepared for them to surge here, and the guys slightly got away from me, and then I looked ahead and I was like, oh shit, like that's a bit of a gap forming. I reckon I can probably close it down. I wasn't too worried at this point because it was kind of a false flat, and I knew that I could probably get some speed coming down here. We're coming through to this roundabout, and I thought, okay, we're all good. I'm closing that gap. It's not too bad. And then we get to the little pincher that comes out of the industrial area, and this is where I went, all right, I might be fucked here. Bit too far back, and I'm gonna have to pop out some big watts, which I did not have left in the legs. So over the crest here, pushing 600, couldn't actually get any higher than that. You see Sean fly past here. He actually came past and he said, come on, big fella. I was like, oh mate, I haven't got anything left. I was still backing myself a tiny bit. I knew I'd been spat out the back, but I have been spat out the back at that pinch before and managed to catch back up to the front group. Coming down here, it is a slight descent, and I have some extra weight on my body, so usually I can go quite fast, and I thought, all right, I'm actually not too far off the back here. I mean, yes, I am, but at the point in the ride, I was like, okay, there's still hope. There's definitely still hope. If I can just TT it for like maybe 10 minutes, I can probably close this gap down. Dumb idea, because that was not happening, mate. You're not that good. Anyway, so we tried our best, and you're going to see it play out, but we unfortunately don't catch back up to them. I come past Sean. I told Sean, jump on my wheel. Sean tries to jump on my wheel, and then he ends up losing my wheel because he did a monster effort sprinting past me and spent too many bickies yelling at me and telling me I was a big fella and to push harder. After my TT effort, it actually did pay off, and I found a few lads who were dangling off the back, and they jumped on the wheels. We rolled some turns up until the finish of the ride, or the end of the ride, which is only a few kilometers from where we are now. It was a good day out on the tools, and I can't complain. We rolled some turns with some big boys, and even though I was pouring the rain, it was still good fun. No one fell off their bike, no one slid out on the white line, so call it a day, and that was it.
Goes, go for a ride, mate. Don't be a softie. Fucking pissed down. Had spray in my eyes for the first half of the ride. Oh, brutality. Harry Sweeney, I think a guy from Bahrain victorious, and Alistair MacKellar showed up. So 3 pros. I was rolling turns for the first bit. Fucking dumb idea, Max. And then, first time I've actually ever been dropped to the grind. We got stat coming out of the industrial area. And then pretty much solo top to get back, or try to get back, but no luck, no beans today, mate, no beans. See, I don't know how good the footage is going to be, because there's water spray everywhere. But, fucking hell, hard day out. Not many people rolling turns today, I tell you. So I ended up having a coffee with a couple of the boys. I'm pretty fucking buggered, honestly. I ended up having a coffee and I had a Coke, and the sugar hasn't done me any justice. Picked up a K-time yesterday. So probably gonna pump some K-times because, I feel pretty rooted. There was Harry Sweeney, Alistair MacKellar, so 2 EF riders. And there's actually a guy from Bahrain victorious who's moving apparently to Ineos Grenadiers. Not a local coastie, he's from Perth is what Sean was saying. But man, that was fucking brutal out there today. Rain, wind. I rolled some turns going out as soon as we hit that roundabout. That was probably a dumb idea because headwind literally the whole way. Oh, so I'm feeling it. Actually riding home and I can't fucking survive.
Like, I feel like I'm just bonking. So I got myself a Red Bull, got myself a protein bar, which I know has no carbs in it, but we got ourselves a servo saucy roll. That's fucking good, eh? Done. I'm riding home. I just hit a wall. Like, proper hit a wall. I didn't actually have breakfast, so that could be it. Woke up at like 6:10, and I had to meet the boys at about 6:24. So woke up, out of bed, chucked on clothes, no clean teeth, no water, filled my bottles, and ran out the door. All right, so we've just gotten home. It is a bit moist out there, isn't it, Rocky? A little bit wet. It's a bit wet out there, but you know, that's all right. That was A-grade the grind. First time I've been spat out. Yeah, I'm gonna blame that on having no brekkie, for one, and then two was rolling turns into the headwind for the first 20Ks. Dumb idea. Anyway, catch you in the next one. Hope you enjoyed the video. Ciao.